Let's see. Okay, let me double check, make sure that everything's working. All right. Perfect. Okay, I got a little bit delay from the video that I see, but that's perfect. So great. Well, hey everyone, welcome. I will give just a minute or two for people to hop on the call. Looks like we got about 10 people on. So we'll give them just a second more, and then we'll get moving. So feel free at any time as I'm going through this. I have kind of an agenda I'm going to follow, but feel free at any time to post questions in the group or on the timeline of the video, and then I should be able to see those, and I can pop over. So with that, looks like we got a pretty good sized group. So I'll just go ahead and get started, get us rolling. I don't know how long this will take, as long as we need. No more than an hour though. That'll be probably max. So great. Well, welcome everyone to the preview or the official look at BoxBuilder 2.0. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to the guys over at UpLaunch for really spending the last 3-4 months working hard on this updated version. And what I'm really excited about is the possibilities of what we're going to be able to do here in the near future. So, but yeah, I know the last, especially the last like week or two, they've been grinding super late, and I just want to make sure I recognize them and their hard work for getting us to where we're at. And if we need any clarification on anything, we do have the CEO of UpLaunch, Matt Verlack, with us. He's on mute right now. But he'll hop in as needed, especially if I have any questions. So cool. And then the other thing is I just want to say thank you to each of you who have chosen to be a part of the BoxBuilder family. You know, it's we wouldn't be able to do this without all the support. So we hope that we're helping you grow and build your businesses and really professionalize this industry. It's been that's really been a big part of my mission since I opened my gym. Was, there wasn't a lot of resources out there when I first got into opening CrossFit Como, and so I started writing my blog, The Box Business, back in 2013, just sharing what it was like to come from somewhere in corporate America to open a small business where there really wasn't a ton of resources back then. And so it's been really nice to just see the growth in the gyms. And like I said, it's my mission to help gyms get better. So if you have a gym that's out there that could use BoxBuilder, please share our resources with them. Cool. So let's get into the software. Let's see what we have working with. There's a lot of really cool new features. So what I'm going to do is just kind of show you a few of those initially, and then I'm actually going to take you through the booking experience so you guys can see what that looks like. But let's just start here at the front end. So this is the BoxBuilder, dashboard. So this is what you see when you log in. One thing, and just really cool little feature, but this menu here on the left, this is where all the information is. If you want to lock the menu in, there's just this little dot right here you can turn on or off. That'll lock it in so you can scroll, have that menu open if you need to navigate. So let's talk about a little bit of changes kind of in this part. So right now we are surfacing all of your leads, all of your clients, and all of your former clients. That's a little bit of a change from previously. We're going to run with that for a while, see how that works, see how that feels. Before we were surfacing new leads, new clients, and pending cancellation. So I want to get some feedback from you guys and see what that feels like for you, but I think this is the way we're going to be moving forward. So it doesn't mean that the information is not there. You just have to get to it just a little bit differently. Here in the middle, we have BoxBuilder, the Action Center. So we have your tasking, which will show up here, your schedule, which I'm really excited about this. I should have booked an appointment. I'll plug one in there, you guys can see, and then SMS messaging. So but we'll go through that here when I get through the demo portion so you guys can see how that all works. You'll notice the activity feed looks a lot different. than previously. So you can see how, emails are blue, tasks are green. This was a rejected email from a test account we created. So you can see that just subject, the different types of content there is changed, different colors. So just kind of, it's just a nice visual. And then obviously the info center. So you'll see a big update, here probably the next week or so with all of the changes. So that's the dashboard. So not a huge difference. Obviously visually, big difference. But this area right here is really cool. So we'll review that once we go through the experience. Another thing I really want to show you guys, which is really cool. So up here in the top right, you have your profile, your availability, blackout dates, Google Sync settings. So if you go to availability, this is a really cool new screen, right? And so this is where you can see your recurring availability for your profile. You can look at it for other staff members, although I may not have anybody in here. Well, let's just add one so you can see. Go. All right. So now you can see everybody that's in your account. You can see their availability, which is really nice. That's been a feature that has been heavily requested from a lot of people. And then you can add availability for them on their behalf. So this is a huge improvement for all of us. So cool. So let's kind of go back through. I'm going to show you, showed you availability, showed you the view for the staff members. We're going to go through a couple of these menus, and like I said, I'll go through the experience. Let's take contact area. So this obviously looks a lot different. We no longer have that card view. It's all kind of stacked here in this list. And so the filters are over here on the left. So we still have the same filters that you saw before and sorting people. So if you need to look at like all your new leads, it's super simple. You just click on the button and then they pop up right there. So you can sort through those. The new leads are people within the first 2 weeks. That's pretty cool. So the other thing, we'll get into the contact record here in a few minutes. But yeah, so that's just a little bit better experience. The nice thing I like about it is you can scroll and still do these different filters. So that's pretty nice. Appointments, kind of the same thing. Let me just show you. This is a big change overall philosophy wise. But if you look at like, for example, and like I said, I'll take you through this when we go through the demo. You're going to see your appointments in here. These will sync up to Google Calendar if you have that set up. But when you go to complete the appointment, you no longer have to like disposition them. So what I mean by that is you no longer have to say this person joined or they're still interested or any of that stuff. So basically your actions are different. So you can reschedule, mark as no show, and cancel, which we've always had. But once they come in, just like other scheduling platforms, they're here. You only disposition them if they don't come in or they don't show up or they reschedule. So how does that affect everything? Well, I'll show you when we get to the user profile, but basically we have the option to log a form at any time, and then you'll move people to different life cycle stages. So I'll show that here shortly. One of my favorite features, and this is something I kind of drew out of just a piece of notebook paper one day. I was talking to the guys and I said, hey, it would be really great to be able to contact and work with all of our contacts on a bulk level from a messaging, because obviously a lot of people are using messages a lot more than email, more than a lot of different platforms. And so we have this SMS Inbox. So this is going to allow you guys to keep everything, all your communication with all your clients, all your leads. You run these big challenges where you generate hundreds of leads. This is going to allow you to communicate with them very nicely. So you can see, just flip through here and you'll see that populate here. So yep, so you just communicate right back and forth. So this is really special. I'm really excited. So this is version 1. We've already talked about a couple enhancements to this, but this is already super awesome, super sweet. Cool. And then bulk email, bulk SMS. I'll get into that in a little bit because I really want to spend some time with the email editor. Account settings. This is where a lot of those admin settings from the previous version live. Business branding, staff members, form builder, segmentation, email, etc. And then all of your campaigns for BoxBuilder, they're down here. So your appointments, your funnels, lead campaigns, client campaigns, former clients. Let me just click in one of these just so you can see how the setup and everything goes with this. So lead campaigns, you can obviously see, here's the breakdown of all the different people in those areas, the length of the campaigns. And then if you want to go edit the campaigns, you can see how we stack up the whole timeline with the content that's going to be going out. That's really cool to see. And we've learned a lot in the last 4 or 5 months since the platform's launched. And so these campaigns are going to be enhanced and improved based on the feedback I've gotten from you guys. And I'm definitely still open to that. We're going to do some reimagining of some of those campaigns. They're pretty effective. Like I said, I just ran a 6-week challenge recruitment with our default campaigns, nothing special with them. And they're really, really effective in helping us convert more members. But there's always areas for improvement. And so we're going to be adding some things in like SMS to go along with all of this. Your config area is still over here, just moved a little bit different perspective. They're kind of backwards, the links from before, but no big deal. But yeah, I really like this view because it really gives you a good insight onto what's happening with the campaign. So all the campaign stuff's under the product, the BoxBuilder. Cool. So there's a lot more to get into, but what I want to do is just kind of take you guys through the intake process so you can see what it's like to handle a lead and put them through. So we're just going to go to the default funnel. Let me just pick up that. So here in funnels, and then that's my default right here. Click on the instructions, and then we're going to go to the page. So let's just do a test. So I'm just going to call test Mike test at mailandmeter.com and 573-289-1581. All right. So this is new. This is a landing page. So you've seen that we've updated that. And it actually is going to pull in your data from your business branding and show you where your gym is. That's actually exactly where my gym is. So that's working well. Good. So we'll hit a view available times. You'll notice this looks really similar, but better. I think visually it's better. We mark out the previous days, so you have the current days. One thing that's really cool about this whole scheduling piece, and we'll show you later on, is you can set this based on a lot of different options. So if you want people to be able to book immediately, within 0 hours of seeing this form, they can do that. But if you want people 6 hours, 12 hours, 24, 48, we still have those options as well. But that's all independent per appointment type, which is really cool. So let's just pick tomorrow, Thursday. We'll pick 8 a.m. That looks good. Hit review, and then you can review the information. So you may notice that there's not an actual form here to fill out. You can set the form. You can set the form per funnel, which is really, or appointment type, which is really nice. So you can customize forms, which I'll show you here in a little bit. I know I'm going to keep saying that, but just gives you a lot of flexibility with the whole thing. So once we hit book it, we're all set for the appointment. So let's do this. I'm going to go back in here, go back to my dashboard, and we can start to see how things are going to populate. So one of the things that we made a change a few months ago was that everything pops up typically within 2 minutes instead of immediately based on some of the things. Let's see. Kim Lisa Cinta. Oh, I added her to the thing. So okay, so let's go to the contact record. We're going to spend a lot of time in here looking at what's going on. So this is a big change from previously. And so obviously all the data is still here, but we've made some really big improvements in terms of how we handle or how the contact record looks. And so You can see up here we tag the life cycle stage, so what their current life cycle or primary campaign. We're still grabbing that content. But then down here, you can see the next task. You can see the next appointment, and then the next touch point in the campaign, which is really, really cool. Down here is activities, any forms that have been filled out, task. So these are, appointments, upcoming appointments, and then the custom groups. So you can see how that's been improved on and updated. One quick thing, so we used to, over here, or a similar area, you could do this drop down and actually change their campaign or change their emails. That moves over here to campaign details. So what I really like about this is this gives you a really nice snapshot of the upcoming emails that are coming out and the days they're coming out. I think visually this looks a lot better. And so you can really get into doing that whole customization. Let me just hit edit email so you can see. This is our new email editor, which is super, super amazing. It may not look exactly the same as previously. So like, for example, some of this stuff won't show up until you do the preview, right? Oops, sorry, until you do the test. Sorry, I've messed that up. So you can send a test email out to, your email address and then find out exactly what's going on. So let me close that. So we'll get in the email editor here in a minute. So that's really, really cool, really, really powerful with that. So let's go back to the overview. So there's that task. So this is a really important thing. So with tasks now, we really made a big change with objective-based tasking. And so when you hit take action, we have this little pane over here in the window that pops out. And so one of the things we noticed that people weren't really doing was when a task would pop up, they would just try to complete it just to get it off their screen. Well, we want you really to think about, hey, did I actually accomplish this task? Did I actually do this task? And so down here on the right, let me move this over just slightly. Down here, right, we have this button that says, I did this, right? And so the information says, make initial contact with Mike Test and build a personal relationship. So if I hit I did this, it's going to pop up. And the disposition says, are you comfortable with the relationship you've built with that person? All right, so sometimes we would read these tasks and we would just try to close them or get them off. But the goal is to accomplish this task when it makes sense. So if you're supposed to be reaching out to a new lead and you're supposed to be getting them in the gym scheduled for an appointment, you may want to try again. Instead of saying, I'm good, you might try again. And then you can sleep that task for a couple days later, a week. So just this whole, the whole feeling behind tasking is a lot different. And the goal is to get you to actually accomplish those tasks, not just get it off the screen and let it go, but actually get you and your staff to handle and making sure that they're really accomplishing that. So you can hit tomorrow, you can reschedule it, customize it. That's totally up to you. I'm going to hit cancel. So I'm going to take action. The other cool thing is under these actions, you have the ability to fill out a form. And so maybe I, for example, called you and decided that we talked on the phone before you ever came in. And so maybe I got some information from you. So I could grab this no sweat intro form that I created and start logging this information. Once I have that information, I can hit submit. And that's going to be dispositioned on there. So, so finally, let me just hit accomplish. I'm going to say I'm good. And you can see that this task is going to fall off. So cool. So let me hit refresh real quick. And that task is gone. So you can see the task is closed here. And that form go. I might not have saved that form. So, oh, I know what happened. Those fields were required. So for example, let's just do this. Let's do the intake form. Facebook. I required those form fields. That's why I didn't go. And then submit. Cool. There's that form there. You can always review that form at a later date. So Cool. So that's new how that's all handled. So I want to talk about appointments now. So appointments is pretty important. So before, when you would confirm somebody into, as a member, you would go through and take action on the appointment, right? And so the action would be that one, you're going to mark them as joined or still interested or whatever, right? So that actually is different now. And the biggest thing is you don't actually have to go in and do the disposition for the appointments. All you need to do is change their campaign, right? So if somebody comes in and they decided to join, you're probably going to collect information from them. So that's where you would do something like, hey, I'm going to fill out a form, for example, and do that. And fill that form out for them joining. You might have a form that's called joining form, and that's an internal process that you and your staff have. But the other thing is you're going to want to change their campaign to the appropriate area. So we have a couple of things like primary campaigns and overlay campaigns. And I'll explain that a little bit. Basically, a primary campaign is our big picture campaign. So like our new lead, our pending lead, our new client, established client, those are those big campaigns. An overlay campaign is basically something that can happen on top of those campaigns. So like a pending cancellation would be somebody who've requested to cancel. So that's handled a little bit differently than before, but we have these nice overlay campaigns. In the future, we'll probably have a few more that kind of coincide with our lead journeys, especially if you have somebody that's like may have came in and they're not 100% sure and they're still interested. We might have an overlay campaign that kind of helps speak to them at their part of the journey, but more to come on that. Another feature that you might have noticed, we have this pause campaign. And so this was a big feature request that a lot of people had since we first started. And so you can actually pause the campaign for a number of days. You can pause it for a specific date, and you can pause it indefinitely. That's totally up to you. A cool use case would be if you were running a very specific program and you didn't want people to start receiving your new client emails and content until a specific day, like a 6-week challenge, for example. You could schedule those out to to that campaign to unpause on that specific day. So that's a huge feature request and gives you a lot of flexibility for that. I'm gonna hit cancel. But let's go ahead and just change campaign, and we're going to put you as a new client. And we have this really cool thing that says triggered events. This is explaining what's happening and all the details associated with that. So hit change campaign. And there you go. So now we're in the new client stage. So that's one of the big changes from before. And that is that's that. So I have a couple questions. One question from Barrett says, it would be nice if there was a quicker way to add the custom groups. It's nice to have that handy at the top. Okay, yeah, well, we'll see how this goes, but if there's a better way to handle that, that's something we can talk with the development team on. So let me know how this feels for you, Barrett. But yeah, I did like it up there as well. But yeah, let's see how that feels. And then Tara had a question, said if we edited the campaigns in the past to our edits, do they carry over? Or do we need to go back and change it? They should have all carried over. As far as I know, they should have all carried over. If you don't see that in your account, please let me know.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt here. Sorry to chime in on that.
That's
so
right.
It's a manual process to get those over. We're not going to saddle any of the customers with that. We're going to do it for you guys because we already know that there's a little bit of a reflex time getting your forms updated and stuff like that. So we're in the process of doing that for you. So you don't have to worry about it, but it is a manual process. So just okay. We're working through it, but you guys won't have to do anything. We're going to take care of it on our end for you all.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for the update on that. So cool. Man, is there anything else I missed? Oh, I know. I did miss something. I just remembered. I need to find which account has my phone number in it. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick. I do a lot of these test accounts, and I typically use my phone number. I'm gonna be able to find it real quick or not. I don't know if I can add I don't know if I can add my phone number here without, if it's already assigned to somebody else. Let's try it out. Yeah, it's somewhere already in the system. I wanted to show you guys one of the really cool areas is,
You can search by phone number, Mike, in that contacts view.
oh, I can? Ha,
Yep.
sweet. All right. There it is. Okay. Cool.
That one time you have Taylor Swift gains on a live.
Yeah. Cool. So let's see. Let me test this out from this. So this is a really, really cool, cool feature that we got added in. So inside of a contacts profile, you can actually do two-way SMS with them. So I'm just gonna say, can't wait for your first quad. All right. So let's see that come through my phone. Okay, you guys just heard that. I'm gonna reply back. Up any second now. Unless it's tied. Give it a second. We'll come back to that. I want to do one thing real quick. Account settings, staff members. Hey, Matt, would that matter at all if my number's in here as a staff member?
No, it shouldn't.
Shouldn't. Okay. Might just take a second to refresh. Let's go back in the profile. Oh, there it is. Cool. So this is in refresh immediately. So this is such a really, really cool tool. So I think I shared with you guys, I've been posting in the BoxBuilder client group. We went through and worked about 310 leads or something like that for our last 6-week challenge. And previously we had the SMS, but one of the problems I was experiencing is that I didn't have a nice log of the back and forth. And so I think this is such a really, really awesome feature to have on the platform. This will combined with the SMS inbox. So I'm gonna hit mark that as read. Cool. So let's do this. Is there anything else in the client profile that I'm missing? Let me look at
And Mike, Kylie had a pertinent question about SMS that I'd just like to address real quick, if you don't mind. The notification strategy. So the way we did this, instead of forwarding actual content of the SMS to your phone, which got confusing because when you receive an SMS, like your instinct is to reply to it. And obviously you can't do that right from your phone. Although Twilio is allegedly coming out with something that may change the game on that. So stand by on that. But in the meantime, what you'll get is if you have any unread SMS messages in your platform that are unread for 10 minutes or longer, it'll send a text message to the assigned staff member for those contacts, letting them know that, hey, you've got a unread SMS in your box, and it'll give you a link where you can sign in real quick and load up the SMS inbox to handle those. So one way you will have the notifications going out, and if there's any way we can improve on that, please contact Mike and let him know, but that's where we're starting at for now.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. So this is that other piece you could see, like that was my most recent conversation. So that was shown up here in this is that SMS inbox. So that Matt was just telling you guys about. So I'm really, really excited for this, especially when we start working with, you're working with dozens and dozens or potentially hundreds of leads. That's huge. So cool. What else am I missing? So that was the big change in terms of, contact profiles, big change in terms of appointments and checking in and moving people from campaign to campaign. Showed you the inbox. Okay, let's do this. Let's go through just real quick. I want to show you guys the new bulk email area because this is really awesome. So SMS is not a whole lot different, just from previously. The layout's a little bit different, so it all still functions basically the same. But for email, this was a huge upgrade. I mean, this is massive. So if you were using any third-party email software to handle your handle your communications with your clients, with your leads, with your former clients, or anybody else, this is a really huge improvement. So so the first thing you would do is just define your audience. So just to be simple, we'll just pick all of our clients, drag those guys over there. We'll hit save. Next is to write our email. And so the way this works is we have this standard template, which is the same one that we've had in the platform before. We have this really cool and new email editor, right? And so obviously you put your subject up there. You can edit all these different areas, these blocks with content. You can pull in, just drag and drop images. If you want to look for an image, you can upload one, you can import one, or if you want to, you can actually search.
Click that My Files folder, Mike.
Okay. Is that what you wanted? Okay, yeah, there we go. And then you can search for whatever. So if you want to search for fitness and find a generic photo related to fitness, I mean, you can do something like that. Oh yeah, this guy looks good. This is a typical CrossFitter, pretty sure. Maybe that's a big file. I don't know. Every once in a while when I'm broadcasting, everything runs really slow. Are there any other questions or comments out there? I'm just going to skip that, but you guys get the gist of it. Like you can drag and put images in the platform. There it goes. Just took us. Oh, it's a big file, so it just took a second. So let's go ahead and insert it, and there you go. That definitely looks photoshopped. Anyways, so yeah, you can add images, you can add all kinds of stuff. We have, you can drop your social links in there, all kinds of stuff. One of the really cool thing, I'm gonna get rid of this image because it's kind of creeping me out. So one of the really cool things about everything that we've built, this email editor is actually super powerful. And so, for example, say you're sending a note to a group and you're trying to get former leads to come in for a nutrition seminar. And maybe you want to get them to book. Well, one of the things you can do is send them to this appointment type. And you can pick any of the appointment types. So let's see, there's nutrition coaching. And the really cool thing about this is when they click on this link, we know exactly who that person is, right? So they're not going to have to fill out anything. We know exactly who they are. And so all they do is when the email gets sent out to them, it will just take them right to the scheduling. So we know who they are. We know exactly who clicked on that email, which is super powerful, and gives you a lot of flexibility. So the term for that is automatic contact recognition. I forgot that for a second. So so that's super cool. If you want them to fill out a form, so for example, maybe you are sending a custom email out to somebody who just booked a No Sweat intro. Maybe you want to send them that No Sweat intro form. They can do the same thing. And then we have all our great blogs that are included in the platform. So if you want to send somebody some motivational content, you can also do that as well, which is really cool. One thing that a lot of people have been asking us for is merge tags. And so now that's part of the platform. And so some of these merge tags, you can see the different names and staff members and account. And then some of these merge tags are based on the configurations that we have in the campaigns as well. So I know that was a big feature people were asking us for as well. So yeah, so spend some time in the email editor. There's a lot of flexibility with that. One of the things, you can also send test emails. I forgot to mention that, which is really cool. One of the things that you'll see here pretty soon, we're going to be loading this area up with a bunch of different templates to use. And so after you send an email out, like say you're sending out tonight, sweet.
Right. I promise.
Awesome. So one of the nice thing is, you can create this really nice newsletter template and then send it out every single month. All your previously sent emails are going to be shown here, and you'll be able to recreate those and keep sending that consistent newsletter out each and every month. So that's really, really cool, really powerful. Really happy with the email editor. I think that's such a great tool, great feature. So go ahead and turn off your MailChimp accounts, your constant contacts, whatever else you're using for bulk email, because I don't think anything else is going to be as pertinent as what you see here. So let's see. I have a couple other questions. Let's see. Oh, Matt actually asked if I just use MailChimp for newsletters and new client info emails, can I cancel that and send those through BoxBuilder? Yep, absolutely, Matt. Great question. And then Tara had a question from the dashboard. If we have a task that doesn't look like we can click on the person's record from there, do we have to search for the client to see their record, or is there a quick way to get there from the dashboard?
Tara, I think Tara's spying on me. We have a fix coming for that tonight as well. I literally have no idea how that slipped past me. So yeah, just check that tomorrow. You'll be good to go. And we actually had a feature thing that Jake had thought of, which might be pretty cool. And that task slide out, maybe put like their last 3 or 4 activities right there too, so you can see it. So you don't have to go to the contact record at all. But at least for who it's for and a quick link to the contact record, that'll be up tonight.
Cool. Yep, that's good. So there's your answer. Yeah. So there's a lot of like little features like that are awesome, and I think quality of life like makes using the platform that much better. So if you guys notice those things, let us know. Like, let us know. Hey, this would work really well, or this is something that I think might improve this experience. We'll look at it. We'll think of it, and if it makes sense, the team at UpLaunch has been really great about like saying, hey, I like that a lot. I think that'd be great. So let us know, because we try to think of everything, but obviously, we have to, you guys are using the software every single day, multiple times a day. And so there might be little things like that. So let us know, and we'll see if it's a good fit and decide to do what we want to do with that moving forward. Cool. So we went through pretty much everything. I'm not going to go through how to set everything up, but I do want to like show you guys a few things with forms and appointments and funnels. But I recorded a video about, 2 hours ago, maybe 2.5, that showed exactly how to do that. So if you haven't seen that video yet, it's only 5 minutes long. Go there and take a look. But let me just kind of talk a little bit about this navigation area. So your account settings, most of that stuff that was in the admin settings previously is there, but we have this form builder. So let's click on that. And so you can see here's the 2 default forms. So this is your membership hold and membership cancellation. And so for those 2, this is where you would install this on your website. So either direct link here or install that. So that's just where your hold and cancellation. So that's handled a little bit differently than previously, but it still functions basically the same way for you. And then if you want to do custom forms, that's a big feature request we've had asked for many, many times. And so that's now in the platform. So really excited about that. So I just created 2 just a little bit ago, so you can kind of see. I'll just hit edit. But right now we just have a couple of types of answers. So I know people are going to ask us for multiple choice and all those other things. But right now the only options you have for the type of answers are text area, which is like that paragraph area, or Boolean, which is true or false, or yes or no. So those are initial offerings for that, but I think we'll have some more stuff with that in the future. So, but then you can see what that's like with the intake form. So you can disposition that from the actual client profile and then gets logged in there. So if you have a really cool idea for a goal setting form, or you have an idea for a nice intake form, if it makes sense, I'll put it. We'll put it in the platform across everybody. I think it'd be really nice to have some of those. So I made. Let's go back here real quick. This with intro form. So this is a form I kind of make. This is basically what we go through with people who come into our gym. And so, why are you here? What are your goals? What's your perfect day? any injuries or limitations we should know about, your current nutrition habits, your background, and then additional notes, although let me edit that real quick. Text area, just like that. That quick, that simple. So, but yeah, so custom forms are awesome. It gives you tons of flexibility, especially if you want that. The other cool thing about custom forms is you can turn that on and off per appointment. Let's get into that. So appointments are down here. Okay. So one of the things that I think is kind of important, and Matt just asked this question, if you could explain the difference uses for forms versus funnels. So there's pretty much three parts to that whole thing, right? So a form is just collecting information. The forms that come default with the platform, like the hold membership and cancel membership, those two forms actually trigger actions. The rest of the forms in the platform don't do that. They're just to collect information for you that you guys can always go back and surface. So just be aware of the differences between those two. So, if it's a platform form, most likely it's triggering some type of action, not necessarily, but in those two cases it is. But for the most part, forms are just to gather content about your contacts. Now we have appointments. So appointments are basically for anybody that's already in the platform. So these are appointment types. So these are the different types of appointments you're going to have that people can book. But these are not funnels. And so the difference between appointments and funnels is funnels are going to trigger people into the new lead campaign, right? So that's all your intake or any future campaigns that we may deliver. So right now you need to have some type of appointment to assign to a funnel. So just for an example, I'll go through, let's just look at this NoSweat intro one. So you have all this great configuration per funnel. So each individual funnel can be configured differently. So you obviously the name, duration is completely customizable per funnel, who the staff members can book. Do you allow your contacts to self-schedule this appointment, yes or no? And then how much advance notice. So these are all configured per funnel per appointment. The other thing is you can turn on the form specifically for those different areas. So if you're doing nutrition coaching and you want to find out some important things about somebody's eating behavior, you can create a nutrition coaching form that people can fill out, which is really cool. If you just want to collect contact information, but not let people book, you can turn that yes or that off here as well. So that's pretty cool. So it gives you a ton of flexibility. So then when you go to funnels, for example, these are the funnels that feed your new lead campaign, right? And so same thing. Let me let's just go into this one. This is the one I used for the video earlier. So you have your basic setup, right? So you go through the setup, you pick what the funnel name is, the description, and if it's your default one. Okay, you have this call to action. So what's your call to action? They're going to book an appointment, and you can select what type of appointment, right? So I already created that one. And then you have who your staff members are. Now you can do some override and add in staff members to this. So assign staff to the people that are already in that appointment type, or you can select different staff members to handle all these leads. So this is like that lead management Joy Girl type model. And then finally, your booking rules. So this is replacing all those advanced settings we had previously. It just makes it a lot easier just to decide how you want to do, how you want to handle all of that. So yeah, so that's what a funnel is. That's what an appointment is. That's what a form is, and kind of how those things differ. Am I missing something, Matt?
Mind if I chime in for 1 sec, brother?
Yeah, go for it.
I just wanted to make sure that everyone's aware. I apologize for the background noise. I'm working from home. I got my little guy wreaking havoc over here behind me. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that for your funnels that you guys already had on the platform, we ported all of your settings over. So you don't need to go through this process for every single funnel, like in order to use the platform. You should be squared away. I would still recommend taking a look and making sure, like I know a couple of you guys in the Facebook group pointed out this morning that the self-scheduling was off. That's because I imported them backwards. My bad. We fixed it about 9 p.m. last night. So the settings should be the same because they all got mapped over. So I just want to be clear that like we're not, you're not like down for business until you go through this process. Everything should be set up according to the same type of preferences that you had set up on your existing funnels before.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Cool. So the other thing I just want to show you all is like over here on under funnels, under appointments, under forms, we have this area that says instructions. And so when you pop this up, this is where all your embed codes are. Like this is where your direct link to those pages are, which you can see here, or the embed code if you want to embed that on, WordPress, your website, ClickFunnels, etc. So that's just an FYI on how to get that information. So last thing, I think I already showed you guys. Yeah, I already showed you guys this. So whoops, in terms of customizing all your content, so Matt had mentioned that they're migrating a lot of that stuff over now. But if you need to go in here and customize anything, this is where all your campaigns are living. So just down here under BoxBuilder and then the campaigns. And so you can go here and configure the campaigns, which are the different things that we need so that we can customize the email content. And then down here is where you actually go in and edit. And you can use that new fancy builder. So I'm looking back at my notes. I just want to make sure. Oh, aha. Here's a big one. Here's a big thing that I didn't mention, but let's go back to, I'm just going to pick a contact record. So let's look at this one. So one of the big features people asked us is what do we do if we want to import people, but we don't want them in a campaign? Well, we made the option here to put them in no campaign. Okay, so that's not going to trigger any automations. That's just going to be a contact in your system, right? So I would just be mindful that if you do that, you just need to understand that, like for me, I would tag that person in a custom group and figure out how I had their contact information. I think that's huge because if you put them in no campaign, you have really no data. They're just random, email and contacts in here. So what I would do is probably create a custom group and write in here like how you got that contact, create a custom group for that. So, but yeah, that was a big feature. I know that got asked pretty much early on when we first launched. That was probably one of the first things that people ever asked for. So that was a really important update. I'm looking at the rest of my notes. I don't think I have anything else. Is there anything that you can think of, Matt? Initially, just make people aware of that I may have overlooked.
Not off the top of my head. I think you hit all the big stuff. Yeah, I think you hit everything for the most part. I think the biggest thing is just number one, thank you to everyone. Just from my standpoint as one of the guys punching code on this thing, I really appreciate everyone's patience as we try to make it as awesome as we can. And, we're watching this thing like a hawk right now, especially. So if you have any bugs or anything weird, please just let us know. A lot of the bugs are simple, the ones that we've found so far to fix. And we've pushed 6 or 7 updates since we went live already. So we're moving real fast on this thing to keep it as smooth as we can. So if something feels weird, let Mike know. He can get us the specifics we need where I can dig in and figure out what's going on and make sure that we're crushing it for you guys. So I just really appreciate everything, and I'll be quiet now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Cool. So a couple questions are coming in, so I'll get to those. My video delay that I can see us talking is behind a few minutes, it looks like. So, but I don't know when these questions are coming in. So first question I see, Alan says, can the system still text us when we get a new lead? Did I miss that? No, the system still does text you. So you still get that notification. Basically what the text says, it says, congratulations, you have a new lead in BoxBuilder, right? That's just, your cue to go in to the system and check on that. So that's still going to happen. Still have that in the system. Tara has a question. Are you working on a reporting platform? Tara says, are you working on a reporting platform? Is that already in there so we know our conversion rates? Yeah, so that's a good question. So we had the metrics system from previously. When we rebuilt this version, we didn't get that migrated over because we wanted to rethink that. So we're working on metrics that'll be coming, but we want to get that information to you. But make sure you have really, really good data so that that data, the data is only as good as what we input it. So we want to make sure that we have that in there correctly. So yeah, that's coming. I know that's on the short list. What about custom campaigns? Custom campaigns. So we're still discussing how we want to handle that. We have a couple of options with like overlays. We have a couple options with their own unique campaigns. So that's a discussion I probably may want to have with a few people and decide how we want to do that the best. Because I know there was I think Kylie, you had mentioned about doing having people go through a 6-day foundations course or something before they go into the new lead campaign. So I think that's pretty valuable to have some of that. So, but that's a discussion I want to have with some of the people that are, the gyms that are using BoxBuilder and what they want to use for custom, what would they want to have for custom campaigns? Because there might be some value that could have multiple gyms could see value out of. So, cool. So let's go back. Let's see, another question. Is there a way to ask for help or file a bug within the platform, or should we do that over email? Yes, there is a way to file a bug. There's going to be, you can see here on my screen, I see this little heart area right here. This is because I'm logged into the platform under, you can see under my admin account. So I'm going to we'll have a way for you to message in the platform for any bugs. But I would say in the next, just this next week or so, just message me directly with those because I want to make sure we get that information quickly over. If you do find anything that's kind of, just reach out to me for now, and then we'll have a solution in here for you guys to report stuff in the platform. So let's see. Blake has a question. Can you export the client list by inactive or cancellational leads rather than all contacts? Yes, I know you have requested that. So I'm going to let Matt hop on and answer that question right now because I don't have the answer at the moment.
The short answer is that we're still working on it. As of now, it's still a full contact list. I know that's been highly requested. To be straight up, it just didn't make the cut before we had the go live date for the platform. But we do have a ticket in to start working on that. In the meantime, if you have a pressing need that's super critical for your business, contact Mike and put in a request. We can do it manually. So if it's something that's really jamming you up, please reach out. We can get it. But we do have that feature coming.
Cool. So question from Matt about integration update. That's a really good point. So integration really wasn't it was possible in the previous platform, but it wasn't scalable long term. We want to work with as many companies as we can to be able to help you guys get the insight into your client's experience. I mean, I've been preaching that since day one, that we really want BoxBuilder to be that tool that helps you run a professional business, but also helps you give your clients a world-class experience. And so related to integrations, the first integration point that we're going to be releasing is with Zapier, which allows us to work with multiple partners beyond just this one specific membership billing platform. I still think there's a lot of value though going direct with the membership management solution. I know PushPress is I'm a big fan of. Obviously, I use it. I used to work with them a lot. So that's an area we definitely want to go into. But I think in the short term, the first thing is going to be contact syncing with Zapier, which then will open us up to all the gyms on the platform. So yeah, so that's coming. I'm going to keep you guys updated as soon as we get there, and timeline as soon as we know. Rob had a question. Text used to show the name of the new lead. Is it no longer? It no longer does, as far as I can tell. Will this be coming back? I think that's a really good idea, and I think that's something we can definitely do.
Yeah, we can set that up in the builder, Mike.
Yeah. So yeah. So I have a few more tools at my disposal now with both the campaigns and how everything functions with BoxBuilder, and so if you guys have ideas for ways to improve the experience that you guys have, let me know. Like, there might be something we can implement pretty quickly. There might be some stuff that I need the development team to work with, but I have a lot more access to parts of the system that I didn't previously. So we have a lot more flexibility. I'm definitely going to weigh and make sure it makes sense for all of our gyms using the platform. But if you have ideas or things that we can do to make the system better, please share those, because I want this to be I already think it's the most robust system on the market, but this is here to serve you, right? It's to make your jobs easier, it's to make you a better business owner, and to help you provide a better experience for your clients. So that's what's really important to me. And like I said, I own a gym. The software is, I'm going to be selfish with everything that we put in the software, because it's going to help me run my business better as well. So I don't know if you could say that about other people in this market, but I think that's a really, really big value add. So if you guys need it, most likely I need it too, and we're going to work on getting it done. So cool. Any other questions or comments or anything like that? I think I have one more note. Cool. Okay. Well, I don't see any more comments on here. Hopefully my internet's still going. So with that, I guess I'll go ahead and just close out and say, once again, I'm really appreciative that you guys are part of the BoxBuilder family, and have chosen to use us. It means a lot. So we're happy to bring the new platform to you guys. We think it's going to be a big help in your business. And if there's anything else that we can do to help you run your business better with the platform, please let us know. But yeah, even everything from little things like, hey, can I have the context name in the new lead text that comes through, to other things like that. Please just let us know. We're here to help. We want to serve you and help you run your business better. So all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and close up shop. If there's any other questions, I'll reply via text. But thanks for joining us today, and we'll chat soon. Thanks.